Good afternoon, guys. Mike here with Wilderness Warriors and Woodsman's Gear on YouTube. I've got a little cook set to take a look at today. This is the No Limits Anodized Aluminum Cook Set. What is interesting about this one is they've done kind of a knockoff on some of the jet boil technology in that it's got a built-in heat sink on bottom for distributing your heat. Let me get the box out of the way here. So the kit is fairly lightweight. It has a plastic lid that has strainer holes in it. We'll get it out of the packaging here. So kind of opaque. Got a little flip up handle, and all of this being plastic should not be a problem. Given the heat sink, you don't have the heat flames actually lapping up the sides of the pot. So it's got your little strainer there, nice little lip. It fits good. There's a second pot inside. It's got a nice flip out handle. Handle is silicone coated. And looking at the bottom, you can see it looks almost just like the Jet Boil stuff. And there's a couple other brands out there using technology like this too, but Jet Boil was the originator of it, I believe. So we're going to see how that works out. And then it also has two plastic cups that I won't be using, and another pot. This one here is a 800 milliliter. It is graduated on the inside. Not sure if you can see that. Ounces on one side, milliliters on the other. Butterfly handles on it, silicone coated. There is no lid for this one. So I guess more designed for being used as a cup, or eat out of this one, cook in this one. I don't really know what their intentions were, but this was the primary piece that I was interested in. We're going to get a weight on all of it together as they sent. And that is 507 grams. Just for curiosity, the lid by itself is 57 grams. Not worried about the cups. This pot is 181 grams. So the large pot, 234 grams, 291 grams with the lid. So not terribly heavy. And considering how large it is, there are no graduations on it, which I think is probably kind of the downfall of it. But at the price point, I can have other ways to have my measurements done, marks on bottles, that sort of thing. So what I've got here is 16 ounces of tap water. That tap water is typically about 58 degrees. And just got, this is the BRS titanium pocket stove, 1 ounce with the stuff bag. Oh. I do not like that. I may have to change to a different stove. If you'll look and see that the feet don't quite fit in the grooves, and they don't quite, like, you can force them in. Not really too pleased with that. That's pretty much up all the way. I've got the stopwatch running. We'll see what it does. One minute and 42 seconds. right, so there you have it. Even if it doesn't necessarily fit on the stove perfectly within that inner ring, the feet do go into those prongs, so it is certainly stable. You just might have a hard time setting it back on there. You can force it down, it's no big deal, so it's pretty stable. But minute and 42, and it was actually boiling a little bit more than before that, but I wanted to make sure that the water was really jumping. That lid really seals on there pretty good. There's a deep lip and it goes down about 1/4 of an inch. It doesn't just sit on top. I kind of like that. So there you go. That is the No Limits cook set. There's no, doesn't say single person. It just says anodized aluminum. And this thing sells for $19.99. So compared to some of the other pots out there, even if you're just looking at the pot itself, the other stuff I really don't care about. I was looking at that pot with that specific base on it, and I am pretty impressed for the money that it cost, and certainly impressed with the performance. So if you're looking for something similar to a jet boil but you don't want to throw out that kind of money, this would certainly be a pretty good alternative, even if you're using a different stove. Again, that is not the best performing stove. It's good. The Pocket Rocket is better, so you can probably get those boil times down a little bit using a slightly better stove. But it is my stove of choice simply because of the weight factor. So that was why I chose it. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon, guys. Mike here with the Wilderness Warriors and Woodsman's Gear on YouTube. Going to be doing some follow-up testing with the No Limits pot and the BRS titanium stove. What I'm looking for tonight is I'm looking at the fuel consumption to boil 2 cups of water. The water is 57.9 degrees, which is my tap water temperature. I've got the stove attached to the canister already, and I'm not really concerned about time on this. I am going to monitor it again just for my personal curiosity. But what I'm more interested in is the weight of fuel that is being consumed, and that in conjunction with the time, just so that the time is less. But I want to see how much fuel this thing uses to see how efficient this pot is. Let's do that again. I'll do it with the stove. 322 grams. And then I will remeasure it again once the water has boiled. Add about 5 seconds to my time here. Took me a little bit to get it started. We're at 116, 121. boiling, but it's not rolling all over. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and it was actually boiling at about 2 minutes even. So, a couple of seconds over. Set that down. Back here. $317. Alright, so that's 5 grams, 5 to 5.5 grams. It was 317, 316, so we'll say 5.5 grams of fuel. It's kind of teetering between 317. I can show you there. It's kind of hovering between 317 and then it might drop to 316. So I don't know whether that has to do with maybe the temperature in it or what, but we'll say 5.5 grams, go in the middle. To boil 2 cups of water in this no limits pot. And what is special about this pot is this bottom section. The pot actually stops here at this line, and the bottom section, tilt it up, has got the heat sink and then the fin ring around it to hold the heat in and sink it to the bottom like the jet boil process does. So all in all, I believe that this pot is an excellent choice. I'm going to continue to do testing with this as I get out in the field. This is pretty much going to be my stove of choice. I'm actually fixing to purchase a couple more of these things. They're so cheap and so tiny. I'm going to outfit all my bags with them, so I think I'm going to pick up at least 2 more. And I'm going to use my other butane stove for my emergency vehicle kit. Kind of like the little flip there. It's kind of cool to play with. Anywho, not really necessary, but for out in the field, it doesn't weigh a whole lot. The base itself is 26 grams, so no big deal. With the bigger ones, it's not that certainly not that needed, but with the smaller canisters, it definitely comes in handy, especially if you are using a bigger pot like that. So what it boils down to with the no limits pot is that pot is $20, and it comes with more than just that, but the pot and the lid are the only thing that I'm really concerned with. The other pieces I really don't need, but the lid is nice. It's got a nice handle. It's got the strainer vent holes in it. It flips down. It doesn't get hot. It gets warm but not hot. Fold up handle that locks the lid in place, stays in sturdy, and boils water extremely fast. So what I'm going to be looking to do is calculate the weight difference between carrying more fuel or fuel for a longer period of time versus the weight of the can, given that this setup is so much more efficient than just a regular cup, whether it's an aluminum cup or a titanium cup, for boiling the same amount of water. So we're still talking 16 ounces of water, which is standard for the 2 serving or 2.5 serving Mountain House meals or other freeze-dried meals like that. So that's what I'm trying to do, is find that balance between being able to get more out of a fuel canister. So essentially what that does is that takes the small fuel canister and puts it at, instead of 10 meals, you're looking at 15 meals out of it, so 50% more. is that weight difference or refueling difference going to match up or be more efficient when carrying the extra weight of this over the other pot. That's the key. So also you're looking at a time savings there, almost half. So information for thought. Thanks for tuning in.